Imagine holding the key to complete freedom, a life where you are no longer controlled by the opinions of others, where the fear of rejection doesn't haunt you, and where your inner peace remains unshaken. But in today's world, distractions are everywhere. People constantly try to influence your decisions, pull you away from your true path, and challenge your sense of self. How would you manage to stay grounded under this pressure? This is where the wisdom of Buddha lights the way. His teachings offer us a profound path to rise above the noise of the external world and unlock the full potential within ourselves. By focusing on your inner self, you can cultivate the clarity, strength, and peace needed to navigate life with grace and confidence. Today, let's explore 10 powerful Buddhist lessons that can help you let go of the weight of others' opinions and regain control of your life. 1. Stop relying on others for your happiness. Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." This timeless wisdom teaches us that true happiness doesn't come from others, it comes from within ourselves. When we depend on external factors like someone's approval, praise, or actions to make us happy, we give them the power to control our emotions. This often leads to disappointment, as no one can make us happy all the time. Buddhism encourages us to look inward for peace and contentment. This means accepting who we are, finding joy in the present moment, and practicing gratitude for what we already have. By learning self-reliance, we build an unshakable foundation of inner peace, one that cannot be taken away by anyone or anything. 2. Don't fear being alone. It's where you find true power. As Buddha said, meditate, live purely, be quiet, do your work with mastery. This wisdom shows us that solitude is not something to fear. It is, in fact, a source of great strength. When we spend time alone, we create space to understand ourselves better, reflect on our thoughts, and grow both emotionally and spiritually. Solitude allows us to meditate and focus on our personal development without distractions. Instead of seeking comfort or validation from others, we learn to be our own best companion. Embracing solitude helps us uncover inner power and wisdom, enabling us to approach life with clarity and confidence. 3. Quit seeking approval from everyone. Buddha wisely said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." This profound teaching reminds us that the approval we truly need is our own, not anyone else's. When we constantly seek validation from others, whether through compliments, praise, or acceptance, we lose sight of our own worth. We allow others to dictate how we feel about ourselves, which only leads to insecurity and stress. Buddhism encourages us to practice self-acceptance and recognize our own value. By giving ourselves the love, kindness, and validation we deserve, we cultivate real confidence and happiness. The more we approve of ourselves, the less we depend on others for validation. This frees us from unnecessary stress and disappointment, allowing us to live with greater inner peace and self-assurance. 4. Don't let rejection break you. Rejection is a natural part of life, but it doesn't define your worth. While it's easy to feel discouraged or inadequate when faced with rejection, Buddhism offers a different perspective. Rejection can be an opportunity for growth and redirection. Sometimes, rejection is life's way of steering you towards something better. Buddha's words echo this idea. In the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. This reminds us that letting go with grace is the key to finding peace. When we stop taking rejection personally, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain and open up to new possibilities. Let go, move forward, and trust that rejection is merely a stepping stone on your journey towards something greater. 5. Stop fearing what others think of you. One of the biggest sources of anxiety is worrying about what others think. We often let the opinions of others influence our actions and feelings. However, Buddhism teaches us that other people's judgments are more about them than about us. The only thing that truly matters is how you see yourself and your actions. Buddha's advice is clear. Let none find fault with others. Let none see the omissions and commissions of others, but let one see one's own acts, done and undone. This wisdom encourages us to focus on our own journey and stop worrying about others' opinions. People's judgments are beyond our control, and constantly fearing them will only drain your energy. When you let go of this fear, you find the freedom to be authentically yourself, unburdened by the weight of others' thoughts. 6. Stop sacrificing your peace to please others. Many of us fall into the trap of trying to please everyone around us. Whether it's at work, with friends, or within our families, we often go out of our way to make others happy, sometimes at the expense of our own peace and well-being. However, no matter how hard you try, you can never fully satisfy everyone, and this constant effort only leads to exhaustion and stress. Buddha wisely taught, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." This reminds us that inner peace is far more valuable than meeting everyone's expectations. Buddhism encourages us to act with compassion and kindness, but not at the cost of our own mental and emotional stability. It's important to find a balance, help others, but don't let their needs consume your life. Setting boundaries and learning to say no when necessary is essential for maintaining your inner peace. When you prioritize your own calmness and well-being, you can live more authentically. You'll also have the strength to give from a place of stability rather than depleting yourself to meet others' demands. True contentment comes from within, and honoring your peace not only enhances your life, but also strengthens your relationships with others. 7. Focus on what you can control. Yourself. Life often feels frustrating when we try to control things that are beyond our reach. We wish people would act a certain way, expect situations to unfold exactly as we imagine, and want outcomes to match our expectations. But one of Buddhism's core teachings is that clinging to what we cannot control only leads to suffering. The truth is, you cannot control how others behave, think, or feel. The only thing you truly have power over is yourself, your thoughts, actions, and reactions. Buddha's wisdom reminds us, rule your mind or it will rule you. This profound teaching emphasizes the immense power of the mind. By mastering your thoughts and emotions, you gain control over your life. Instead of wasting energy trying to change others or control situations, focus inward. Ask yourself questions like, how can I respond better? How can I grow from this? How can I find peace, even in the midst of chaos? When you shift your energy toward improving yourself, you build resilience. External events, whether positive or negative, lose their power to disturb your inner peace. Imagine the freedom of no longer feeling the need to control everything around you. This mindset shift leads to a calmer, more balanced life. You become less reactive and more intentional, making decisions rooted in clarity rather than stress. Focusing on your own growth also inspires others around you. Your calm and strength can influence those close to you, encouraging them to reflect on their own actions. This practice isn't about detaching from the world, but rather recognizing that your energy is best spent on what you can truly change, yourself. When you master your own mindset and reactions, external challenges no longer shake your foundation. This is where true freedom and self-mastery begin. 8. Realize that people are focused on their own lives. We often worry that others are constantly judging us, scrutinizing how we look, speak, or act. But the truth is far simpler. Most people are too absorbed in their own lives to focus on us. This realization can be incredibly liberating. The fear of judgment holds us back from being authentic, making us hesitant to express ourselves or follow our true path. However, Buddhism teaches us to let go of this unnecessary burden and live more freely. Buddha's words remind us, "Your work is to discover your world, and then, with all your heart, give yourself to it." People are primarily concerned with their own challenges, goals, and insecurities. When you realize this, you'll feel a huge weight lift off your shoulders. You no longer need to live up to imagined expectations. Instead, you can focus on your own journey and live authentically. Think about how often you worry about others' opinions versus how much time you spend thinking about your own struggles. Just like you, others are preoccupied with their own lives, leaving little time to focus on yours. This understanding gives you the freedom to be yourself, make decisions that align with your values, and pursue your passions without the constant pressure of external judgment. Buddhism emphasizes non-attachment, not only to material possessions, but also to the opinions of others. When you release the need for external approval, you can live more authentically. This shift leads to greater confidence and inner peace, as you are no longer a prisoner of others' judgments. Recognizing that everyone is dealing with their own battles also helps build empathy and understanding. Just as you may struggle with your own thoughts and emotions, others are navigating their own challenges. Understanding this makes it easier to let go of the fear of judgment. By focusing less on what others think and more on your own growth, you'll notice a newfound sense of freedom. You'll feel lighter, more empowered, and more in control of your destiny. Living authentically without the fear of judgment allows you to unlock your full potential. You'll take risks, pursue joy, and live with purpose. Remember, life is too short, and the world is too vast to waste time worrying about what others may or may not think. Discover your own purpose and dedicate yourself to it wholeheartedly. When you let go of the need for validation, you create space for self-discovery and a stronger connection with what truly matters in your life. 9. Don't get caught up in social comparison. One of life's greatest traps is comparing yourself to others. Whether it's your appearance, career, success, or happiness, constant comparison only leads to feelings of envy, inadequacy, and frustration. Buddhism teaches us that comparison is a form of attachment that brings suffering. When you measure yourself against others, you lose sight of your own unique path and the progress you've made. Buddha reminds us, health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. This wisdom highlights that true wealth isn't about having more or being better than others. It's about finding contentment within yourself. Social comparison often pushes us into a scarcity mindset, where we focus on what we lack rather than appreciating what we have. In today's world, social media amplifies this problem. We see highlight reels of perfect vacations, luxurious lifestyles, and seemingly flawless success stories. But what we don't see are the struggles, insecurities, and challenges behind those images. Everyone's journey is different. Comparing your behind-the-scenes struggles to someone else's curated highlights is a recipe for unhappiness. Buddhism teaches us to shift our focus inward and practice gratitude for our own lives. When you appreciate your own blessings, you feel less inclined to compare yourself to others. Comparison often leads to competition, which can breed jealousy and resentment. These emotions cloud the mind and distract us from our true path. By practicing non-attachment, you can break free from the cycle of comparison. This doesn't mean you shouldn't have goals or strive for success. It means recognizing that your worth isn't determined by how you measure up to others, but by how true you are to yourself. Your value comes from being authentic and following your unique journey. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you'll find a sense of peace and fulfillment that no external achievement can provide. 10. prioritize your inner growth over external validation. In today's world, many of us are conditioned to seek external validation, whether it's approval from family, recognition from colleagues, or likes and comments on social media. This constant need for validation pulls us away from our true selves. Buddhism teaches that true peace and fulfillment come from within, not from the opinions of others. As Buddha wisely said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This emphasizes the immense power of your inner world. When you focus on self-awareness and cultivating a growth mindset, you develop inner peace and strength. On the other hand, if your thoughts revolve around seeking external approval, you become trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction and insecurity. The pursuit of external validation often feeds our ego, the part of us that craves attention, recognition, and status. But the ego is never satisfied. No matter how much approval we receive, it will always demand more, leaving us feeling empty and unfulfilled. Buddhism encourages us to transcend the ego by turning inward and finding fulfillment through mindfulness, self-awareness, and compassion. When you prioritize inner growth, you begin to see your worth as rooted in your values, integrity, and personal development, not in how others perceive you. Success becomes about how much you've grown as a person, whether you've become more patient, compassionate, and mindful, not about external achievements. External validation is fleeting. The praise you receive today can vanish tomorrow, leaving you chasing after the next source of approval. In contrast, inner growth builds lasting qualities like wisdom, resilience, and emotional stability. These are treasures that no one can take away from you. Another important Buddhist teaching is the concept of equanimity, the ability to maintain mental calmness and emotional balance regardless of external circumstances. When you focus on inner growth, you cultivate this balance. You become less reactive to both praise and criticism, anchoring your self-worth in your own peace and self-awareness. Focusing on inner growth doesn't mean ignoring the world or disconnecting from others. Instead, it's about recognizing that the most meaningful work you can do is within yourself. This inner work makes you a better friend, partner, and community member, as you bring more compassion and wisdom to your relationships. Buddha also taught about impermanence, the idea that everything in life is temporary. This includes external validation, which can disappear as quickly as it arrives. Inner growth, however, is enduring. The wisdom and emotional resilience you gain through personal development will serve you for a lifetime. When you prioritize inner growth over external validation, you unlock a life of authenticity and freedom. You no longer feel the need to conform to others' expectations or societal standards. Instead, you live a life true to yourself, guided by your own values and desires. This authenticity not only brings inner peace, but also attracts deeper, more meaningful connections with others. The moment you stop caring about what others think, you unlock your true potential. You gain the freedom to live boldly, take risks, and pursue what truly matters to you. Let go of external expectations and focus on your inner journey, because true power and fulfillment come from within.